Hi, Cancer. Welcome. So this is going to be your reading. I am going to start with the spiritual general messages, and then I'm going to go into the you versus them love reading. I'm time stamping this January because that's when I'm recording it, but my readings are timeless, so I just trust that whenever this finds you, that's when it's for you. And let's go ahead and get into it. I actually started the reading and then had to stop it. Because I just had this overwhelming feeling when I came out of the meditation of just giving up, of just throwing in the towel. Things are not going the way that I want them to. And it was kind of a discouraging vibe, and I didn't want the whole reading to be about that. But that, if I'm being honest with you, Cancer, that is the energy that I felt when I meditated for you. So I might be connecting with some of you who are maybe just in a mood today, or, been moody lately, or having mood swings where you just feel like, oh, what is the point of this? I don't even care anymore. I can't even concentrate almost. I can't even try to pretend even, because I actually tried to push through the emotion and get cards out, and I couldn't push through. I couldn't fake it. I couldn't anything. So I actually had to stop the reading and bring myself back to focus, meditate again. I did keep the original cards out, although I am going to pull new cards as well. And so let me share those with you. It is the 7th house of relating, the 2nd house of assets, and this moon card here. I'm gonna read the cards, but I feel an overwhelming push to mostly just talk to you, to channel for you. But what they're highlighting here is relationships in particular, finding balance there, finding compromise for some of you. It is also talking about your material world, your finances, what you're naturally good at, and putting a good part of your focus onto that. But I feel like sometimes that's hard to do, especially when you're in a very emotional state, or you just don't feel like it, you know what I mean? And this is the part that I'm intuiting that I really want to talk to you about, because it's almost overwhelming. It's just it's so hard to concentrate on, I'm getting tearful. So I can tell you this is going to be a very specific reading. Don't make it for you if it's not for you. But it's so hard. It's feeling so hard to concentrate, right? When you have things weighing on you or things going on in your mind. It's hard to give your all, when you yourself are not in a good emotional space. So what I'm getting here is for instance, an example, if you're, at work and usually you're very attentive or usually very responsive, but today you're in a funk and you're in a mood and you've got stuff going on, as opposed to being responsive, you may just be yeah, I'll get to that tomorrow, or, thinking to yourself, I don't freaking care, not your usual self, right? It may even seem like little mundane things overwhelm you, Cancer, when you're in that space, because you are a water sign, so it's a very emotional energy. And so you could imagine, right? Well, of course, this as a Cancerian, that when those emotions are raging, when those waters are raging, it's difficult to navigate away from that. And so I feel this surge of emotion coming through, and I keep getting emotional as we're talking. And let's see what that's about. Now, I don't want to say this is a negative thing, right? Sometimes your emotions come in like that, and they're getting in this song like a wrecking ball by Miley Cyrus. I don't know why I'm playing with this, but for some reason it's soothing me. So I'm sorry if it's distracting you, but it's soothing me so I can get the message. Yeah, come in like a wrecking ball. Anyways, some of you do need to do some self-soothing around this to get to the heart of this. So the other two cards that came out when I redid the reading was breakthrough and abundance. So I love that part because I feel like there is some sort of breakthrough coming in regards to what you have going on, some clarity, a change in the situation, and then things feeling a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more abundant. If you've been waiting for a change to come through the second house of money and assets, that may be well on its way to you, particularly in the second month, February. But also this represents Taurus time frame, which is what, May. So those two time frames being highlighted as well. So let's get some more cards out and see, Cancer, what we have coming through for you and what else we can get here. Cancer got going on, and what do they need to know? And I have to say that I don't know if this is related to your reading at all, take it or leave it, but when I was preparing my room for your reading, I caught myself singing out loud Justin Bieber, where he says, "My mama don't like you and she likes everyone." Some of you, that may resonate with you. Anyways, if it doesn't, don't worry. Ace of Wands, the Fool, Ten of Swords. So, yeah, there's this passionate new beginning here for you to grab a hold of, Cancer. And this is the sign of opportunity here, but also of taking chances, new beginnings, some of you second chances. But then it's followed by the Ten of Swords. So there's a lot of exhaustion here. There's a lot of mental stuff going on. It could be that you're so freaking done. Let me just talk. What it feels like to me is like, wow, I'm just so done feeling this way, or I'm just so done with this chapter or whatever this is, these thoughts that I'm having. I'm feeling done, right? Almost to the point of like irritability. So because of that, it's like pushing you, Cancer, to kind of reach for something else, okay? Which is not in and of itself wrong. Sometimes we really have to get to that point where we are completely exhausted, where we cannot take something anymore before we finally push ourselves to make that change, whether it be a change in environment or a change of habit. Some of you have a habitual pattern here, and it's getting so exhausting, or maybe doing such a number on you that it's like, you know, that you're getting to that point of like, it's got to change, or I have to change this, okay? And, you know, others of you, it's to deal with, you know, anything, a job, a relationship, take it as it resonates, but it's just like the final push, the final shove to kind of reach for something different, to reach for something new. But caution, if I may. Because when you are currently living something that you really, really, really don't like, and then as opposed to deal with it or do the inner work first, you decide to leap into action to try and get yourself out of that uncomfortable space. You may find yourself leaping right back into the same uncomfortable space, just with different faces and in different places. Because what you do not resolve within yourself will find you in your next chapter, and your next, and your next. Because although our brain will trick us, our egos will trick us into believing that what's occurring to us is not connected to us or is outside of us. As the longer you live, the more you realize that that just isn't the truth. There's a vibration that we're all emanating that calls forth into our lives our experiences. And unless you figure out what that is inside of you that is calling that thing forth that you don't like very much, then you can't really ever move out of calling it forth. If that makes sense. So what do? Just change nothing? No, that's not what I'm saying. Are you saying, Dana, I shouldn't go for something new? I should stay here and suffer? And I say, absolutely not. Never, ever, ever put yourself in a place of suffering. It is not ever necessary in the eyes of spirit, but sometimes it's unavoidable, you know? What I'm saying is do the inner work and then don't make decisions when you're in a bad place or a bad mood. Wait until you feel a little bit better and then look at the situation again and ask yourself, do I still feel the same way? Wait until the energy clears. Now, if you're in a situation where everything around you is so triggering, you can't get clear enough, not even for a moment, to gather yourself, to get into that clear space, then I would say yes, do the physical action of temporarily moving yourself away from that space so that you can get clear, so that you can see it from all angles, and then make permanent or long-term whatever solutions. Sometimes you just need a little breather. Sometimes our brain will really make something really terrible that really isn't all that damn bad. You know what I mean? Like, ever heard of the saying, making a mountain out of a molehill? Right? So, yeah, let's keep going. What else? I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I'm saying our brains do be playing tricks on us sometimes. And I've been a victim to this, of my own brain. Haven't we all? You know, I've definitely been like maybe in a certain kind of mood, and like maybe somebody does something that is hurtful or a little bit irritating, but because of the mood I'm in, because of the thoughts I've been thinking, I make it into a big damn deal, you know, and then it's like, and then also, by the way, I don't like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, and blah, blah, blah. And it feels so right, you know, in the moment that you're saying these horrible, horrible things. But, or at least to me in the moment, I'm like, I'm right. And it's about time I say these things, you know. And then the moment passes, and then, like, you know, I calm down, or I get some food to eat. I go to sleep. I wake up the next day, and I look back on it, and I think, wow, I really blew that out of the water. Like, I really made a big deal about something that really wasn't a big deal because I wasn't in control of my mood. I wasn't in control of my emotions. You know what I mean? We all do this, right? So don't shame yourself or feel like you're a bad person for doing this. But they're bringing that specific example to the forefront. So could be something to look out for. It could be that you're dealing with someone that is like that, right? But it helps to understand the psychology behind it, and that most of the time, you know, when people lash out like that, or when we ourselves lash out like that, it's more about us, what we've got going on in here, than it is about what's going on out there, you know. And if you could remember that, not to take it personal, and not to make it personal about others either when you lose control of your emotions, right? Because that's a two-way street. And I feel like, you know, it's easy. I think people like the concept, like when somebody's misbehaving or being mean, it's not personal to you. But they don't so much like the concept that also when you're being the mean one, when you're out of control, that it is not personal to that person either, that you need to own that. right? And because self-reflection is a lot harder to do. And I am in agreement with this. Like, what do you mean it's not about that person? That person made me feel this way. And it's like, no, that person was a catalyst that you drew to you through your own attraction point because of your unstable mood, and it blew up. But you are equally as a part of it as the other person, or you wouldn't be a match. That's just so hard to wrap your mind around. So, yeah. And I am not, and it's sad that I have to say this, but it's not sad. But somebody always mistakes this for extreme circumstances. My advice that I'm giving you is for the majority of you that don't have anything emergent or dangerous going on. So let me make this caveat. None of this advice applies if you're in an abusive situation. Period. If you're in a dangerous situation, you're in an abusive situation, stop watching tarot, go seek help, and get therapy. I am not speaking to that. I'm speaking to your typical irritable argument, maybe with a spouse or a family member or a friend, that in its nature is actually kind of normal, but it is also not a deathly or emergent. Okay, so I always get a comment or two about that. That's a totally different topic, totally different way to handle it. Catch me maybe in another reading. I don't really read situations like that, but definitely get a self-help book about it. Talk to a counselor or something. Anyways, okay, so for the rest of you, the Hermit, the World, and the Two of Cups. So this is what's at the heart of the matter here. So there's some soul searching going on. For a lot of you, this is to deal with a partnership or a family member, a friend, you know, where you're completely exhausted. And maybe it becomes such a blame gamey type of thing, or if nothing else, nothing gets resolved to where you're just feeling like, ugh, not today, Junior. You know, like I don't want to do this right now. I feel like giving up maybe. For others of you, it is just in general the sense of exhaustion. But I feel for a lot of you, this is to deal with a specific person, okay? Because there seems to be some soul searching going on about this. Like, is it me? Is it the cycle I'm in? Is it, is it them? That's really hard to figure out too when relationships are real up close and personal to us. Is it me or is it them? It's both. It's both, because both are contributing to the vitality and or the diminishment of the connection through your responses and your thoughts about each other. Not so much the words you say, because some people will say, but that person, you know, doesn't... oh, this is such sticky territory. That person doesn't treat me the way that I want, right? But I treat them that way. And that may be true. Your physical actions may be lining up with how you would consider treating someone good, the action-oriented journey. But in your mind, when you're doing those kind actions for that person, if all you're thinking about is, they never do this for me. Yeah, I'm going to be the bigger person, but they never do this for me. I don't know why I'm with somebody that just never does this for me. So in your mind, you're telling a different narrative. Your actions are saying, I'm the good partner, I'm the kind partner. But your mind is thinking a lot of resentful ideas and or seeing the fault in them or seeing what they're not doing. Well, the law of attraction will grab a hold of your thoughts, not your actions. Your actions do not matter in this law of attraction game. All that matters is what you think about this person, because law of attraction will grab onto that and say, Okay, that overall you feel like this person is not doing their part, and the other person you're dealing with has intuition as well. They can feel emotion as well. So they are responding to your vibration, not your actions, and it makes them not want to give to you because they're matching up exactly with your expectations. Law of attraction is always going to match your expectation, your practiced expectation. So if you feel like somebody always lets you down, they're always going to let you down. They are always going to let you down. You know, even if they are there for everyone else, you will be the one person that gets let down because you practiced that. Now, I'm not saying you could do a miracle and just all of a sudden, like, think of someone as this pure, beautiful, loving being that you know they're not. You're not going to trick yourself. You're not going to be able to make yourself believe something you don't believe. But you could try to see the best in them. You could try to soothe your thoughts, and or you could try to move away from the situation if you're not able to do it. And some of you are not able to do it. You're trying like hell to soothe yourself around something. You cannot soothe it. And so now you want to take some sort of leap of faith or action here. And I'm saying take the action if you want. But first, remember that if you don't do the inner work of soothing yourself around partnerships in general, not that specific person or family member or friend or partner, but in general, if you don't soothe your vibration around relationships, you're just going to find yourself in that situation again. This is deep. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is what's coming out, but I realize it feels, I hope it feels informative. I'm just the messenger. It's kind of an uncomfortable message. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see what else. I also feel like I'm a bit in circles here. Some of you, I heard insufficient funds. Take it or leave it. Some of you, it's as literal as insufficient, not having enough money to move out of a situation, change jobs, change partners, whatever. I'm sorry, this was a tough one for me. And if that's the case, then you may need to save up and be a bit more strategic. And in the meantime, practice your vibration, practice soothing yourself. So say you are in a situation where, you know, you're not in a place to like just up and quit your job or up and quit a partnership, or you can't get rid of your mom, you know what I mean? Like, because they're family, or whatever this is about for you, whatever this emotional ickness that's coming through is about. So you can't really move away from that for whatever reason. What can you do? You can change the way you feel by changing what you think about. And that could either be that you could think differently about your situation, try and find the higher purpose, your higher source, your higher self's perspective. Your higher self sees everything, including your struggles, as a blessing. Okay. And or you could focus elsewhere. You could detach yourself. You could throw yourself into things that you do enjoy, things that you do love. Find a way to start giving more positive momentum in that direction until it stabilizes. So there are things you can do vibrationally when the outside circumstance seems immovable. You can always move your vibration. This is the true definition of free will. Nobody gets to think your thoughts but you. Nobody is creating your personal life experience but you, because you are the only thinker of your thoughts and you are the only feeler of your emotions. And although people want to train you into believing that they get to control how you feel, they don't, and they can't. What are they going to do? Try and grab your thoughts out of your brain? They don't have that power. Only you have that power, and source is connected to your thoughts. So when it feels like you can't get out of something, or that there's no reasonable solution, it's time to go within. And it's time to start thinking more deliberately the thoughts you want to create into your reality. And the more practiced you get at that, the more things will move in your exterior circumstance. The more solutions will gently begin to flow into your experience. And it does require a little bit of patience. But you could do it. So this was a really lengthy reading. I told you it wasn't going to be so much about the cards, but I will say this, it does land on the Sun card. So there's a positive outcome in here for you. There is a positive outcome in this. There is a breakthrough. There is abundance coming through, and it's coming through the second house of assets. So I told you, some of you, it's already on its way, whether it's in February or Taurus season, will be different for each of you. There is an opportunity, but don't leap when you're exhausted. Don't take action until your mind is clear. All right, there's some soul searching to do around a specific person or partnership, and you may also want to invest in yourself or save up some money here. But I do feel like no matter what, you land on the Sun, which is all things working out for you, which is a positive outcome, which is asking you to just day by day look for things that make you happy so that you stabilize and practice happy. So you start to attract more often a constant flow of happy to you. All right. And let's see what the card says. Should I leave or should I stay? Of course. It says, it is very empowering to discover that your patterns of thought do not have to follow your current situation. Let me say that again. It's empowering to discover that your thoughts do not have to follow or match what you currently have going on. And therefore, your current situation can change. We do not recommend taking the physical action of leaving a situation or relationship without deliberately coming into alignment with the new desire that has been born out of your current relationship. And then whether you stay or whether you go, you can have exactly what you desire. Wow. They say that nothing changes unless nothing changes. And what they mean by that is a lot of people are trying to create a new reality for themselves with the same personality that has always existed. But in order to create something new for yourself, you have to change your vibration, aka the personality, to match. It begins with you. All right, let's go into the love reading, you versus them, and see what else we have coming through. I'll see you in just a second. Hey Cancer, welcome. All right, so now we're going to go into the you versus them portion of the reading. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep in mind it is a general reading. The roles may be reversed. Feel free to flip them. Most of you, it's going to be about your intimate partner, but it can also be about a family member, friend, you name it. Just take what resonates. Okay, so now you have the card here of morality showing up in your overall energy. Excuse me. And this person has the card of participation. So to me, when I see this card, it reminds me of the Death and Rebirth card. So it's about changes, transformations, endings, all of that. Completion is also the word that's coming to my mind. And this is showing up as your crowning energy. This person has the card of participation, which is all about, you know, their participation and the connection, their contribution to your life. Also, this can be the card of compromise and working together. So that is what's being highlighted for them. So now, Cancer, we're going to look at the most recent past and what led up to the now. Then we are going to look at how you're both seeing each other in this moment, how you're feeling underneath it all, and then the most likely outcome. So I want to say, like, when I went on break, I know when you're watching this back, it seems like my break is like 5 seconds, but I actually took quite a bit of time between the first part of the reading and this part of the reading. And wow, like the energy is so freaking intense. I want to say it intensified since I sat down to do the first portion of the reading. So this should be interesting to see. Recent past is the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So I feel like, Cancer, this is you kind of taking things seriously when it comes to what you're committed to, and loyalty, like loyalty being very important to you, if not about being loyal to yourself, but also that sense of loyalty and belonging that you have for other people. But let me preface this by saying this. If any connection ever makes you have to be disloyal to yourself or your boundaries, you need to re-examine that connection. Total side note. Anyways, but actually you're looking pretty good. You're looking pretty stable here. This is a very grounded, very practical energy. Things feeling very balanced. Could have been going through like this phase where you were just kind of focused on, you know, the things that needed to be done, but in a fruitful way, in a positive way, keeping yourself in that really balanced state of mind, okay, so that you could focus on what was most important to you. Let's see this person's recent past then. As I was just talking about the Death and Rebirth card, they get it. People are so afraid of this card. It just means change and transformation, okay? Nothing super duper scary going on. I mean, some readers may read that way, but I don't. Okay, this person they've really been struggling with some things on a deep emotional level, and it's like they are trying to change something within them or change something within the way that they feel, but it's like they always get pulled back to the same fixation or maybe the same toxic thought or the same toxic place. Like I feel like they're having a difficult time kind of really moving away from that part of themselves. But I do actually feel an effort here. I feel like this person is putting in the effort to release themselves of that feeling and to get into a more peaceful state of mind themselves. So let's see how you are seeing this person then in the now. How do they see this person? There's that stinking song again. My mama don't like you and she likes everyone. Somebody's mama don't like somebody. That came up in the spiritual reading. Maybe you're the mama and you don't like that. I don't know. It's so random. Okay, I'm not saying it's about this person. I'm just saying that song keeps coming back up. So I feel like you feel this person is very firm, or you see them as somebody who is firm in their boundaries. I heard set in their ways, and some of you set in their ways. Like I feel like this person has this cold side to them, but at the same time, there's this very warm and inviting part of the connection as well, or element of the connection. I feel a strong bond or a strong union here, which is ultimately what makes you keep like giving, you know, to the connection, or wanting to give to the connection, because despite that more abrasive part of this person, you still ultimately feel connected to them. So let's see how this person is seeing you. Three of Cups. And maybe your mama don't like them, but you sure do. I don't know. Maybe that's just song. Maybe that song is probably going to randomly pop up on your phone now. But could be a sign for you. Anyways, see, now this person sees relationships like just in general in a more friendship sense, if that makes sense. Not saying that they don't have deep emotion or deep feelings. Some of you, this could be more of like a friend than anything, because I'm reading for a lot of you, but for some reason I get friendship vibes here. I do feel a sense of like pulling away from the connection, or pulling away to like gather their thoughts or get their thoughts together. There's a lot going on internally with this person that you may or may not even be aware of. Like they're trying to almost like clear the slate, clear their energy, if nothing else, so that they kind of get a grips on what it is that they're really wanting to push for here. I do feel a sense of connection as well on their side and how they see you. But this person seems to be a bit off in the distance right now. So let's go further then. How does Cancer feel about this person? The Strength card. Judgment. And the Fool. So it's interesting that this card is showing up, because that was in your spiritual reading. This card talks about, you know, new beginnings, new experiences, second chances. On the flip note, though, it can be very impulsive. You know, like this person's getting ready to jump off a cliff, right? And they're ignoring the warnings. They're ignoring the red flags. So there could be a bit of both in the mix here. But in your heart of hearts, I feel you actually feel very strongly, okay, about whatever decision you're about to make, even if it feels like you're about to jump off of a cliff. And I picked that up in the spiritual reading too, like this ultimate push, this shove to get you to move into a different direction. So whatever choice you're about to make within the connection, whether you're going to, you know, stay connected or not, I feel you know already what it is. You know what it is because it's the strongest emotion you have. It's the strongest urge you have. Like some people will say, how do I know what the right decision is? It will call to you. It will call to you, and it will not quit calling to you until you follow the call. So I feel like there's a calling coming from spirit through your emotional compass, and they're asking you to listen to that feeling. Let's see how this person is feeling underneath it all. Some of you feel strongly that you want to give something a chance here, okay? But it'll be different for each of you. How does this person feel underneath it all? The Magician. Oh, there's that song again. Baby, I be moving on. You still want my home. All right, the Magician, the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is interesting. Ooh, emotional too. This person is quite emotional, even if they seem cold or detached on the outside. And I got emotional in the spiritual reading, so it could be coming from this person's end, but I mean, I feel it in this part of the reading as them. I don't know how this is making no sense, but this is the message I'm getting from this card combination. It's like this person is manifesting being alone and yet being connected at the same time. It's like they want to feel a sense of connectivity. They like the stability that gives them, but they're also quite stubborn. They're also quite set in their ways. They are set in their ways. And so instead of manifesting more connectedness, they end up manifesting more loneliness. See, because the Five of Pentacles is like being at a loss or having nothing, and the Ten of Pentacles is having everything. And it's like this person is manifesting nothing and everything at the same time. Okay. So they're not intentionally doing this, I don't feel, for most of them, but it's a sense of like, oh, another Justin Bieber song. I'm not gonna do that one. The Lonely song. Lonely. He sounds like a basset hound in that song. Have you ever heard a basset hound cry? They're the cutest, but they go, and that's what that's what Justin Bieber sounds like to me in that song. It's like, I mean, it's a catchy song. It's like, whoa, lonely. I can't. I'm embarrassing myself. I apologize, Justin Bieber. Anyways, that's the song I'm hearing now. It's like, what they want so much is to feel a sense of connection, belonging, stability. But they focus so often on their shadow, the lack of, the loneliness, that it's like they're working against themselves and they don't even know it, because they are not paying attention to their thought processes. And guys, thoughts become things. All right, so let's see the most likely outcome then. Two of Pentacles. I'm sorry about my lighting. It's horrific, isn't it? It's terrible. Also, what's going on with my hair? That looks worse. Okay. Sorry about that. ADD. It's so dark out. I can't get my lighting right. It's been raining for days. Days upon days. I need the sunshine. Anyways. Back to you. Okay. Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Star. Oh, wow. So, yes, there is this back and forth in the energy here, Cancer. But ultimately, I feel like spiritually, you feel drawn to this person, especially if they're a Virgo or an Aquarius. But it doesn't have to be those signs. They're just sticking out to me. It's a general. But you feel very spiritually drawn to this person, even though there's barriers here. And I'm talking like big barriers, things that really need to be resolved energetically, spiritually, emotionally. And I keep hearing financially for some of you. But at the same time, it's like there's a draw towards the connection. There's also a need to go within to really spiritually and emotionally listen to yourself. This is the card of introversion and healing, especially when things are feeling heavy to you, and that was in the spiritual reading as well. But there's a lot of hopefulness showing up on your end. So let's see this person. The Hierophant. Three of Wands. Nine of Cups. And 10 of Cups. So yes, this person is they're keeping the hope alive as well. I mean, I feel like they're trying to do the right thing. They are trying to follow their own spiritual path. Now, in some ways, their shadow really gets the best of them, and it creates a divide where there should be balance. But overall, I feel like this person is in the space of trying to overcome that, trying to reconnect with themselves. They're willing to collaborate or compromise even. They're really looking forward to having a beautiful future, not just where there's stability, but where there's emotional fulfillment. And yes, financial success. Like this person is waiting for those doors to open, or even better, excuse me. Keep burping, I'm sorry. Even better, they're on their way towards that, literally. So I feel like this person is trying to do the work, although it's a lot of internal work. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person is detached or introverting. They've got kind of like their own demons to figure out. But I feel like once they get past that and once they get into a better feeling space, then it's kind of all steam ahead. They're looking towards their future. They want emotional fulfillment, and success is here. So beautiful. Let's see then what the guidance is. Cancer, overall guidance for them and their mate. My attention to the unwanted can't defy the law of attraction. If your life has caused you to ask for an improved situation, no matter what it is, and you are no longer offering chronic thought vibrations that are opposite of your desire must come. But you cannot continue to keep alive within you vibrational patterns of what you do not want and receive what you do want. It will defy the law of attraction. So this is interesting. Good advice for you, but I also feel like real good advice for your cross watcher too, because see, they're sitting here asking for an improvement or reaching for a desire that they then contradict with their own negative thoughts. And so the only holdout to their desire coming to full fruition is their own stinking thinking. And that's true for everyone in general, but especially true for the cross watcher. So interesting guidance to come out there. Wow, though, beautiful reading. I am wishing you all the very best. Zodiac signs you could be connecting with or having your own chart. I have Aquarius, Virgo energy here. I have Taurus, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, Leo, Gemini, Libra. Those are the predominant signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind it is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't yet, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I do have videos and content over there. All of it linked in the description box below, as well as in the About section. Otherwise, wishing you the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste. Bye.